You know that feeling? The one where you feel like you're an afterthought? Like, yeah, you were chosen, but only because someone else wasn't available. Well, today, we're going to dive deep into the really profound and honestly unspoken psychology of what it actually means to be the second choice. And, more importantly, how that experience can fundamentally shape the way your mind works. And this quote, wow, it just gets right to the heart of it all. We all know rejection hurts, of course, but this is a whole different kind of pain. It's not the sting of a door being slammed shut. No, it's the pain of a door that only opened for you because the first guest, well, they didn't show up. And right here, this is the crucial difference. Rejection, for all its pain, is final. It's a clear no. It's an ending. You can process it, grieve it, and eventually move on. But being the second choice, ugh, that's a conditional yes. It's a really uncertain beginning that just leaves you feeling destabilized, constantly wondering about your own value and where you actually stand.
So that feeling of instability, it's not just some fleeting emotion. It's a force that actually changes you. It doesn't just tweak your personality, it starts to rewire your brain. So let's get into the pretty unique toolkit your mind built to navigate this whole landscape.
But I want to be really clear here. What we're about to talk about, these aren't flaws. They're not weaknesses. They are absolutely brilliant, highly tuned survival skills. These are psychological adaptations your brain developed to protect you. And the craziest part? You built this entire toolkit without even knowing you were doing it. So let me just ask you this. Do you ever feel like you notice everything? I mean, like you can feel the entire mood of a room just completely shift based on one word somebody says, or even just a brief pause in the conversation? Well, there's a very specific reason for that. It's called hyperawareness. And it's not just anxiety, it's a skill. Your brain literally became an expert at reading the most subtle social cues, a tiny change in tone, a hesitation in a text, a shift in body language, because it was learning to see a change coming before it even happened. Because here's the hard lesson your brain learned. Being deprioritized doesn't come with a big announcement. It doesn't show up loudly. It comes quietly. So you learned to listen for the silence. You learned to sense that growing distance long before anyone would ever admit it was there. And this hyperawareness, it often leads to another really powerful adaptive pattern, becoming an overgiver. Now, this isn't just about being nice. It's a deep unconscious strategy to make yourself so valuable, so essential, that no one would ever even dream of replacing you. The logic behind it is actually pretty powerful when you break it down. It all starts with that core fear, feeling replaceable. So, the strategic response is to try to become irreplaceable. And how do you do that? You give more. More energy, more understanding, more support than you ever get back. You create an imbalance, hoping it makes you indispensable. Now, all this constant emotional effort, it totally changes what you start to look for in your relationships. Your brain, having been on this roller coaster of conditional acceptance, starts to value something completely different. It starts to prioritize safety way, way more than excitement. Your brain learns to be really wary of that intense high of new affection because it knows just how fast that can disappear. So instead, it starts seeking consistency. It looks for the safety of being chosen every single day, not just on a whim. Honesty and real effort, that becomes the only currency that actually matters, not grand gestures or some fleeting intensity. And this leads to another incredible adaptation. When you can't be sure that emotional support is going to be there when you need it, well, your brain adapts by developing this fierce self-reliance. It's not about pushing people away, it's about making damn sure you can hold your own weight. And this distinction is just, it's so profound. It's not that you hate help, not at all. It's that your own experience has taught you that it might not be there tomorrow. You've learned to be your own most reliable source of strength because you just can't trust that the help is going to stay. Okay, so let's put all these pieces together for a second and just reframe this entire experience. What if this history of being overlooked wasn't just a source of pain? What if it was actually the training ground for developing an incredibly high level of emotional endurance? Seriously, think about it. You probably don't panic when someone walks away. You're not totally shocked when plans fall through. Your resilience is quiet, it's not dramatic or loud, and that's because your brain has seen it all before. It has built this calm strength that was born from weathering disappointment after disappointment. And this brings us to the most crucial turning point. The whole goal here isn't to dwell on the pain, but to find clarity.
Because understanding the pattern, that is the single most powerful step you can take toward healing.
So if you take anything away from this today, please let it be this. Your feelings are real. This experience is real. You are absolutely not alone in feeling this way, and you are not imagining all those subtle signals you've become so incredibly skilled at reading. And this is the ultimate reframe. Once you see that these are adaptive traits, a whole toolkit your brain built just for survival, you can finally stop blaming yourself. You're not too sensitive, you're not too needy, you are brilliantly adapted.
And that's really why we do this, to offer exactly this kind of clarity. If this helped you see yourself in a totally new light, you should consider subscribing. We make more content just like this to help you make sense of your own inner world, because understanding the pattern, well, that's everything.